Lily and her family moved to Hawthorne House, an old Victorian home nestled at the edge of a quiet town. The house had been on the market for years, its history of strange occurrences keeping potential buyers away. But Lily's parents saw it as a charming fixer-upper with lots of potential. Excited about the new adventure, Lily explored every nook and cranny of the house, her imagination running wild with the possibilities. The attic, with its dusty corners and forgotten relics, quickly became her favorite spot. The house's history fascinated Lily. She imagined the people who had lived there before, their lives full of stories now lost to time. As she walked through the grand but faded rooms, she felt a connection to the past, almost as if the house itself was whispering its secrets to her. One day, while unpacking boxes, she found an old, ornate key. Its intricate design intrigued her, and she wondered what it might unlock. She decided to explore the attic again, hoping to discover something new. As she climbed the creaky stairs, the setting sun cast long shadows across the room, adding to the eerie atmosphere. Little did she know, the key was about to unlock more than just a door. In the attic, Lily noticed an old, weathered trunk she hadn't seen before. It was covered in dust and cobwebs, as if it hadn't been touched in decades. The trunk seemed to call to her, its presence compelling her to uncover its contents. The ornate key fit perfectly into the lock, and with a deep breath, she turned it. The trunk creaked open, revealing a treasure trove of antique items, faded photographs, yellowed letters, and a beautiful but old-fashioned music box. Each item seemed to tell a story of its own, a piece of a larger puzzle waiting to be solved. Curious, Lily wound up the music box. A hauntingly beautiful melody filled the attic, and as the music played, she noticed something strange. The air grew colder, and she felt a chill run down her spine. Shadows seemed to dance in the corners of the room, and for a moment, she thought she saw a figure standing by the window. Her heart pounded, and she quickly closed the trunk, telling herself it was just her imagination. But the feeling of being watched lingered long after she left the attic. That night, she lay in bed, unable to shake the sense that the trunk had awakened something in the house. Over the next few days, Lily couldn't shake the feeling that something was off about Hawthorne House. She began to hear faint whispers at night, barely audible but unmistakable. They seemed to come from the walls, filling her room with a soft, ghostly murmur. At first, she thought it was just the old house settling, but the whispers grew louder and more distinct. It was as if someone was trying to communicate with her from beyond the grave. One night, she decided to follow the sound. It led her back to the attic, the source of the unsettling noise. With trembling hands, she opened the trunk again and found a bundle of letters tied with a red ribbon. The letters were addressed to a woman named Eleanor Hawthorne, dated over 100 years ago. As she read them, Lily learned about Eleanor's tragic life, a life filled with love, loss, and ultimately, despair. The last letter hinted at a dark secret hidden within the house, something that Eleanor couldn't bear to face. The whispers grew louder as she read, almost as if urging her to uncover the truth. Lily realized that the house was trying to tell her something, and she needed to listen. She felt a strange connection to Eleanor, a bond that transcended time. Determined to help, she vowed to uncover the truth and put the restless spirits to rest. Determined to learn more, Lily searched the attic for anything else that might provide clues. Hidden under a loose floorboard, she found Eleanor's journal. The pages were filled with her thoughts and emotions, painting a vivid picture of a woman tormented by grief. Eleanor wrote about her beloved husband, who had mysteriously disappeared, and her growing fear that the house was haunted. One entry stood out. The voices, they call to me from the attic. They tell me he's still here, trapped between this world and the next. I must find him. Lily realized that the whispers she had been hearing were the same ones that had haunted Eleanor. The journal entries grew increasingly desperate, detailing Eleanor's attempts to communicate with the spirits and find her husband. Each page was a cry for help, a plea for someone to understand her pain. Lily felt a deep sense of empathy for Eleanor and a growing determination to uncover the truth. As Lily delved deeper into the history of Hawthorne House, the paranormal activity intensified. One night, while reading Eleanor's journal in her bedroom, she felt a cold breeze sweep through the room, even though the windows were closed. The whispers grew louder, and the temperature dropped. Suddenly, the room was plunged into darkness, and a ghostly figure appeared at the foot of her bed. It was Eleanor, her spectral form pale and translucent. Her eyes were filled with sorrow as she reached out to Lily. "Help me," she whispered, her voice echoing through the room. Terrified yet determined, Lily asked how she could help. Eleanor's figure began to fade, but not before she pointed towards the attic. "Find him," she said, and then she was gone. Lily lay awake for hours, her mind racing. The encounter had left her shaken, but also more determined than ever. She realized that Eleanor's spirit was trapped, unable to find peace until her husband's fate was uncovered. Lily knew she had to help, no matter how frightening the journey might be. She felt a sense of purpose, a calling to set things right. The next day, Lily returned to the attic with renewed determination. She carefully examined every corner, looking for any hidden passage or clue. Her persistence paid off when she discovered a hidden door behind an old bookshelf. Using the ornate key, she unlocked the door and stepped into a small, dusty room. The room was empty except for an old portrait of Eleanor and her husband. Beneath the portrait was a chest. Lily opened it to find a collection of personal items, a watch, letters, and a lock of hair. There was also a small, locked box. The key from the trunk fit perfectly, and inside the box, she found a ring and a note. The note was from Eleanor's husband, explaining that he had uncovered a dark family secret and had to hide to protect Eleanor. But something had gone wrong, and he had become trapped between worlds. Lily felt a chill as she read the note. The weight of the past pressed down on her, and she realized the gravity of the situation. She was holding the key to solving a mystery that had haunted the house for generations. The items in the chest were clues, pieces of a puzzle that needed to be put together. She vowed to find a way to break the curse and free the trapped spirits. That night, as Lily pondered the contents of the hidden room, Eleanor's spirit appeared again. This time, she was accompanied by the ghostly figure of her husband. He looked at Lily with pleading eyes. "You found my secrets," he said, his voice soft and hollow. "But you must complete the ritual to free us both." He explained that the ring was a key to performing an ancient ritual that could break the curse binding their spirits to the house. The ritual required a pure heart and the will to face the unknown. Lily, feeling a deep sense of empathy and responsibility, agreed to help. Eleanor and her husband vanished, leaving Lily with a sense of purpose and urgency. The instructions for the ritual were detailed in the note. It spoke of ancient traditions and the need for courage and purity of heart. Lily felt a mix of fear and determination. She knew the ritual would not be easy, but she was ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. She felt a strong connection to Eleanor and her husband, a bond that gave her the strength to continue. Lily prepared for the ritual, gathering the necessary items as described in the note: the ring, a white candle, and a vial of blessed water. She returned to the attic, setting up the ritual space with care. The atmosphere was tense, and the whispers seemed to swell, filling the room with a sense of anticipation. As she lit the candle and began the incantation, the room grew colder, and shadows danced around her. She placed the ring in the center of a circle drawn with chalk and sprinkled the blessed water over it. The air crackled with energy, and the candle flame flickered violently. Lily's voice grew stronger as she chanted the final words, calling upon the spirits to be released from their torment. Each word seemed to resonate through the house, the energy building with each incantation. The shadows around her grew more active, swirling and shifting as if reacting to the ritual. Lily felt a presence around her, a mixture of hope and despair. She focused on her goal, calling out to the spirits to find peace. The tension in the air was palpable, and she knew the climax was near. As the last words of the ritual echoed through the attic, a brilliant light filled the room. The ghostly figures of Eleanor and her husband appeared, their forms more solid than before. They reached out to each other, and as their hands touched, the light grew even brighter. The oppressive atmosphere lifted, and the whispers ceased. Eleanor's eyes filled with tears of gratitude as she looked at Lily. "Thank you," she said, her voice filled with relief. "You have freed us." With a final, radiant smile, the spirits of Eleanor and her husband began to fade, their forms dissolving into the light. The attic, once a place of fear and sorrow, now felt peaceful and calm. Lily felt a wave of relief and satisfaction. She had succeeded in her quest, freeing the spirits trapped within the house. The oppressive energy that had plagued Hawthorne House was gone, replaced by a sense of peace. She knew that Eleanor and her husband had found the closure they needed. The house felt different, as if it had been cleansed of its dark past. With the spirits of Eleanor and her husband finally at rest, Hawthorne House no longer felt haunted. Lily's family began to notice the change as well. The house seemed warmer, more inviting. Lily continued to explore and document the history of the house, preserving the story of Eleanor and her husband for future generations. As time passed, Hawthorne House became a place of interest in the town, known not for its haunted past but for the courageous girl who had freed the spirits trapped within. Lily's experience strengthened her belief in the power of empathy and understanding. She knew that wherever she went, she would carry the lessons of Hawthorne House with her, always ready to face the unknown with courage and compassion. Lily's story inspired others, and the house became a symbol of resilience and hope. Visitors came to hear her tale and to see the place where history and bravery intersected. Lily knew that the house would always hold a special place in her heart, a reminder of the power of kindness and the importance of facing one's fears. She felt a deep sense of fulfillment, knowing she had made a difference and brought peace to restless souls.